Something like 60% of the population has persistent back pain. That means that their core is not firing well. We need to go beyond traditional core training in order to solve that problem. Beyond sit-ups, beyond Pilates. We need to do standing core exercises. The best way to do that is to swing weight. The best way to make it work better is to swing the weight from side to side. Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we're going to work on a simple exercise. Simple does not mean easy for most people. What we are going to do is we're going to do a hand change heavy club side to side swing. Most people do not get what they want out of core training because their body doesn't work well standing up. Everybody who's got back pain probably could benefit from this exercise. If you go really heavy, you get a lot of athletic benefit from it in a very short period of time. Start with a light weight, build up over time. We're going to show you this exercise with a club because this is originally a club exercise, and then we're going to show it to you with a bunch of other types of implements. The club one is the one you probably should be doing because it is really safe. When you're advanced, you can go to something like the kettlebell version. The most important thing is that our feet are straight ahead. If your feet are not straight ahead, if they are turned out and you do this, your knee will not be in line with your ankle and your foot will collapse. Don't do that, that's bad. Point your feet straight ahead. If your feet are still collapsing in, turn them in very slightly until you force the arch of your foot to fire and you force your knee to rotate over your ankle. The important part about the club is that you can swing it from side to side without crushing your toes. If the club is so long or you bend forward and you crush your toes, you've done it wrong. Our goal is to stand up and rotate. That's actually really hard for most people in the beginning. We're going to start by changing hands from side to side to side. This is the exercise. You start with a lightweight and we set up a timer for 60 to 90 seconds. And we track how many reps you do during that time. If you go faster in the same amount of time, you have done better. But the goal is to not drop it on your feet. That's the most important thing. After that speed, after that elbow lock. If you do this with bent arms, you will give yourself elbow problems. We would like to get up to heavier weights here over time. This is a Hephaestus 30. This is the goal weight for most men for a single arm club program. The goal is to get the club just above parallel, and the heavier weight, you will notice you start to lean away from it. You are pushing down through the ground. That's what we call ground reaction force. As the weight swings, our core is forced to fire. This eventually builds up into other exercises like inside circle and outside circle. But if you have back pain, our goal is to stand up and rotate without bending forward. We are no bend forward, where our goal is to rotate around a vertical axis without moving our feet. Rotating the ankles, knees, hips. The heavier the weight, every time it swings across, your glute will try to fire. Your glute is part of your core. If you don't have solid glutes, that's part of why you have back pain. When you start to get advanced, you might go to something like a competition adjustable kettlebell. You can take this down to 12K and build it up to 32K. Think of that as 25 to 70 pounds. Goal for everybody should be at least 50 pounds because that's how much a bag of grain weighs. That's how much you have to stabilize when you work. That's how much luggage weighs at the airport. 70 pounds is pretty heavy. The same thing is true. Feet straight ahead is the important part. You have to watch how you're doing this. Think thumb to thumb. We're going to swing from side to side, and we're going to get back up towards parallel to the ground. Every time that weight swings across, you will feel your core fire. The dangerous part about the kettlebell is about 8 inches wide, and it is swinging right by knee height. So you need to make sure you know how to do this. Clubs are thinner. This is about 3.5 inches. I think this is, what is this, 2.5 inches? So there's more room for error with a club, which is why you should start with a club. This is probably the riskiest way to do this, holding a big mace at midpoint. If you mess it up, you will be slamming into your shin. Don't do that. That's bad. It's harder to hand change because the long handle and you're much, much closer to your toes. You can do it. It's not recommended. Best thing, club of any type, swinging from side to side. You will notice there's two slightly different versions of it depending on how you do your first swing. Across the body and outside the body. There are two hand changes. The same way that when you do an inside circle, there's a hand change. Outside your body, when you do an outside circle, it's across your body. Clubs are the best way to do this, but you can do this if you are very, very good with a kettlebell. Kettlebell is wide, much less room for error, but easier to get heavier weights.